So good day everyone, still good day, no? Our topic for this is about materials management. No, it's different from materials requirement management. So material management is a core functions of supply chain management involving the planning institution of supply chains to meet the material requirements of a company or organization. And these requirements include controlling and regulating the flow of material while simultaneously assessing variables like demand, price, availability, quality, and delivery schedule. So material manager, no, determine the amount of material required and held in stock plan for the replenishment of these stocks. No? Create an inventory level for each type of item, raw materials, work in progress, or finished goods, and communicate information and requirements to procurement operations and the extended supply chain. Again, material management also involves assessing material quality to make sure it meets customer demands in line with the production schedule and at the lowest cost. Okay? To give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead, ma'am.
Good day everyone, I'm Marshall Irish Parale and I will present the material management. After the presentation, you will be able to learn the concept of material management in its scope and understand integrated waste management. What is material management? Material management is the planning, directing, controlling, and coordinating of the activities which are concerned with materials and inventory requirements, from the point of their origination to their introduction into the manufacturing process. It starts with the inspection of materials quality and quantity and ends with its issuance to production to meet customers' demand as per the schedule and at the lowest possible cost. What are the objectives of material management? The objective of material management includes are effective material management, minimize the material costs so that profit can be maximized. The procurement and purchase materials of desired quality and quantity when required at the lowest possible overall cost. Material management tries to reduce investment, tighten inventories for use in other productive purposes, and develop high inventory turnover ratio. To purchase, receive, transport, and store materials efficiently to reduce the storage and warehouse related costs. To trace the new source of supply and to develop cordial relationships with the suppliers in order to ensure continuous material supply at reasonable rates. To cut down costs through simplification, standardization, value analysis, import substitution. To modify and improve the paperwork procedure in order to minimize delays in procuring materials. To conduct studies in domains such as quality control, consumption, and cost estimation of materials so as to minimize the cost of production. To train personnel in field of material management in order to increase the operational efficiency of manufacturing firm. There are types there are two types of material. These are direct materials and indirect materials. Direct materials represent the raw materials of goods necessary to produce manufacture a product. The cost of direct material varies according to the level of output of the production system. For example, milk is direct material of butter, iron is a direct material of steel, while indirect materials are materials that are necessary for the production process but it's not directly used in product itself, which means this material does not become an integral part of the product. Examples are sandpaper, oil, grease, cotton waste, and more. What are the functions of material management? The functions of material management or the scope of material management are material planning control, purchasing, storage or stores management, inventory control, standardization, simplification, and value analysis, material handling, disposal of scrap, surplus, and absolute materials. So, the first function, material planning and control. Material planning is a scientific technique of determining in advance the requirement of raw materials, auxiliary parts and component spares as directed by the production program. It is a subsystem in the overall planning activity, and there are many factors which influence the activity of material planning. These factors can be classified as micro and microsystem. Micro factors, some of the micro factors which affect materials planning are prices trends, business cycle, government import policies. While in micro factors are some of the micro factors that affect the material planning are plant capacity, utilization, rejection rates, lead times, inventory level, working capitals, delegation of power and communication. Next is purchasing. So what is purchasing? Purchasing is an important function of material management. In any industry, purchase means buying of equipment, materials, tools, parts that are required for industry. The importance of the purchase function varies with nature and size of industry. For example, in a small industry, this function is performed by work manager, and in large manufacturing concern, this function is done by separate department. The moment a purchase manager or purchase personnel place an order, he commits a substantial portion of finance of which corporation which affect the working capital and cash flow position. He is highly responsible person who meets various salesmen and thus can be considered to be in contributing to the public relation effort of the company. Thus the Thus, the purchasing manager or personnel can make or mar the company's image by his excellent or poor relations with the vendor. The basic objective of purchasing function is to ensure continuity of supply of raw materials, subcontracted items, and spare parts, and to reduce the ultimate cost of the finished good. In other words, the objective is not only to procure the raw materials at the lowest price but to reduce the cost of the final product. What are the parameters of purchasing? The success of manufacturing activity is largely dependent on the procurement of raw materials. Um, Parameters of purchasing materials includes right price. Right price is any manufacturer wants a good price. The tender system of buying is normally used in public sector organization, but the objective should be to identify the lowest responsible bidder and not the lowest bidder. Right quality. Right quality implies that quality should be available, measurable, and understandable as far as practicable. Right time means this can be explained for us determining the right time. The purchase manager should have lead time information for all products and analyze its components for reducing the same. Right source means the source from which the material is procured should be dependable and capable of supplying items of uniform quality. Buying is all about quantity. Guidelines include economic order quantity, economic purchase quantity, fixed period, and fixed quantity system. The buyer must utilize knowledge, experience, and common sense common sense to decide the amount after examining pricing structure, discount, item availability, favorable reciprocal ties, and make or purchase consideration. Right attitude means the purchase manager should be innovative and his long-term objective should be to minimize the cost of the ultimate products. Right contract means the purchase manager has to adapt separate policies and procedure for capital and consumer item. He should be able to distinguish between indigenous and international purchasing procedure. He should be aware of the legal and contractual aspect in international practice. Right material means purchasing the right material for manufacturing is crucial. Techniques such as value analysis will assess the buyer or the purchasing manager to discover the suitable material. Right transformation means the right means of transportation is crucial to production costs. For example, if you are shipping sand, gravel, the cost of the transportation are more costly than the product itself or the commodity itself. Right place of deliveries, specifying the right place of delivery, like head office or works, will often minimize the handling transportation. Next is stores or store management. Storage refers to the place where materials are kept under custody. A store is an important element of material management since it is a place that keeps all material in a way by which materials are well accounted for, are maintained safe, and are available at the time of requirement. The main activities involved in store management are receiving materials, quantity verification, and visual inspection, preservation of materials. Next is inventory control. Inventory control is the process of maintaining business stock level, which is material in our case, to meet customer demand and minimize costs. Inventory control involves inventory tracking and maintenance of goods. Also includes decision making to get the most profit out of your materials and planning purchase. The primary objectives of inventory control are guarding the inventory against damage or theft and reporting inventory in the financial statement. Standardization. Meaning of standardization is producing a maximum variety of product from the minimum variety of raw materials, tools, and operation. It is a process of setting up standard or units of measure to which extent quality, quantity, value, performance can be compared and measured. Simplification. The concept of simplification is closely related to standardization. Simplification is the process of reducing the variety of products manufactured. Simplification is concerned with the reduction of product range, assembles part materials and design. Value analysis. Value engineering or value analysis had its birth during the World War II, and Lawrence D. Miles was responsible for the developing the technique and naming it. Value analysis is defined as an organized, creative approach which has its objective the efficient identification of unnecessary costs cost which provides neither quality nor use nor life nor appearance nor customer feature. Value analysis focus engineering, manufacturing, and purchasing attention to one objective, equivalent performance at the lower cost. Value analysis is concerned with the cost added due to inefficient or unnecessary specification and feature. It makes its contribution in the last stage of product cycle, namely the maturity stage. At this stage, research and development no longer make positive contribution in terms of improving the efficiency of the function of the product or adding new function to it. Value is not inherent in the product, it is a relative term, and value can change with time and place. It can be measured only by comparison with other product which performs the same function. Value is the relationship between what someone wants and what he is willing to pay for it. In fact, the heart of value analysis technique is the functional approach. It relates the cost of function whereas other relate cost to products. It is denoted by the ratio between the function and cost. Material handling. Material handling is the movement, protection, storage, and control of materials and products throughout manufacturing plant, warehousing, distribution, consumption, and disposal. As material management process, material handling merge a wide range of manual, semi-automotive, and automotive equipment that support logistics and make the supply chain work very easily. Disposal of scrap, surplus, and absolute material. Disposal of scrap, when handled in creative manner, can result in big returns in organization. Disposable action follows when the scrap cannot be used within the organization anymore. Before disposal action, it is necessary that the scrap is separated according to metal, size and etc. When the scrap is mixed, that the return can be even lower than the lowest element present in the mixture. So next topic is integrated waste management. Integrated waste management is described as the system for reducing, collecting, recycling, and disposing of waste product generated by residential, institutional, commercial, and industrial land uses. Waste can be liquid and solid, hazardous and non-hazardous. Some common examples of waste management that are involved in integrated waste management are burying waste in sanitary landfills and burning waste in mass burn incinerators. Integrated waste management can also include waste reduction methods such as reusing, recycling, and composting. Integrated waste management is described as the system for reducing, collecting, and recycling disposing waste product. Integrated waste management aims to minimize waste throughout the life cycle of a product from resources extraction to ultimate disposal. It requires cooperation amongst individual, jurisdiction, disciplines, and sector. It's based upon emerging principle of sustainability and it is proactive, not reactive. This is the waste hierarchy. The waste hierarchy is a framework for establishing the order of preference for different waste management options. It is based on the cradle to grave principle, where the product is followed from its production to its grave or final disposal. So, first step nito is the reduction or reduce. We should aim to reduce and or prevent amount of waste produced such as unnecessary packaging. We should design out waste at the manufacturing stage. Plastic shopping bags can be used as simple example of this principle. If we don't accept or use products that become waste, we reduce resource consumption and prevent those materials from entering the waste stream in the final place. Some of the products that reduce packaging are those bar soaps. I mean, those bar shampoos. Reduction or prevention is the best option. Second is reuse. We should try to reuse materials for the purpose for which they were designed or sometimes for other purpose. Example, wooden pallets can be used to reuse building projects. There's also um, some projects that use um, yung papers, they use it as hollow blocks, in lieu of hollow blocks. Or sometimes yung mga scrap ng mga junk foods, nire-reuse siya. Um, nire-reuse siya. Recycle and compose. We need to recycle and compose as much as possible that is left after reduction and reuse. Landfill bans of organic waste and existing recycled items could eliminate half of what currently goes to landfill. So dito nangyayari yung mga upscale, mga upscaling, yung instead of recycling, ina-upscale siya. Mas yung dito na uso din yung mga di ba yung mga nakikita sa Facebook, yung mga nag-DIY, for example, yung mga plastic bottles, ginagawang vase, ganun, ginagawang holder, siya sa mga pwede nating gawin para mag-recycle. Next is recover energy. Recover the energy and raw resources embedded in the waste. And lastly, residual disposal. What waste remains after steps 1 to 4, we will send to landfill. This is the last option. So makikita nyo po dito, ang pinakang favorable is to reduce. Then lastly na yung disposal. Next is the advantage of integrated waste management. The advantage of waste management are reduction in the use of resources, waste separations at source, recycling, and organic waste recovery. Reduction and the use at source. Reducing waste at source and reusing waste means that less waste has to be collected. This lower cost for residents, businesses, and local authority. Also, the pollution generated in transporting the waste and at the disposal site is reduced. Waste reduction in the use means that there is less pollution from manufacturing and reduced need to import goods. Finally, society benefit because people have the use of items that they may not otherwise be able to afford. Second is waste separation at source. Many integrated waste management schemes require householders and businesses to separate reusable and recyclable materials from the rest of the waste and sort them by type. This helps to make people more aware of what they throw away and means that the material separated for recycling is of higher quality and has a higher selling price. In alternative scheme, where recyclable material are extracted from mixed waste at the transfer station, there is a greater health risk to those who do this work and also to those who work in the recycling industry. Recycle, like reduction and reuse, recycling has the benefit outside the waste management system. Recycling reduces the need to extract raw materials from the ground or to import them. Producing metals, glass, and paper from waste materials rather than raw materials consume far less energy. Also, in common with reduction and reuse, recycling means less waste is sent to landfill, giving further reduction in pollution. Organic waste recovery, this means composting organic waste, is a form of recycling and has similar benefit to other recycling process. The amount of waste sent to landfill is reduced and compost can be used locally to improve soil and crop grown on them. Organic waste can also be used in anaerobic digester to produce biogas for cooking and lighting. Integrated waste management practice. This means reduce material and energy wasted, protect environmental quality, minimize impact disposal, eliminate or treat toxic, hazardous, and infectious waste, improve institutional integration, and increase accountability. The integrated solid waste management model adapted from Van Dijk Bludert and Anshuk 2001. An integrated solid waste management is more than just the arts. It has three components: the waste system elements, the stakeholder, and influencing factor. These three components are shown in this figure. The waste system elements are the stages in the waste management chain that have been discussed bef- um, in previous slides. In every stage in integrated solid waste management, in every stage in the chain should be guided by strategy to minimize the waste. The reach that reach the disposal site to protect the environment and, where possible, to generate income from waste. The stakeholder are the people and the organizations involved in influencing factor are other aspects that need to be considered when developing ISWM system or integrated solid waste management system. Stakeholders and the influencing factors are described as an individuals or organization with an interest in impacted by program of activity. Technical factor refers to the selection of technologies that are available and will function with the quantities and composition of waste produced. Number one is financial factors are aspect that deals with budgeting and cost of the waste management system. Some of the most important issues to consider are the effect of private sector involvement in recovering the cost of system from resident business government. Environmental factors focus on the effect of waste management on land, water, and air, that need for conservation of non-renewable resources, pollution control, and public health concern. Political and legal factors refers to administrative context in which the waste management system exists, the goals and priorities that have been set, the determination of roles and responsibilities, the existing of land, legal and regulatory framework, and the decision-making processes. Sociocultural factors include the influence of culture on waste generation and management in the household and businesses and institutions, the community and its involvement in waste management, the relation between people in the community of different sex and ethnicity, and the social condition of waste worker. To key takeaway, material management is vital to ensure there is an unbroken chain of material production purposes to meet customer demands. Not only does it make sure production schedules can be met, but it can also save costs for finished product while also maintaining quality through material that are purchased and used. Material management crosses the line between purchasing, logistic, and inventory management, making it vital for process reliant on raw materials, machinery, and maintenance, among other. Integrated waste management is comprehensive waste prevention, recycling, composting, and disposal program. An effective ISM management considers how to prevent, recycle, and manage solid waste in ways that most effectively protect human health and the environment. So that's it. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so thank you very much, no? Again, to sum up, no, materials management uses inventories and production requirements for planning and control to ensure materials are available as required to meet production schedules. So this material planning includes managing logistics, stock levels, materials quality, cost, and more. So this requires a step-by-step overview of processes and requirements. And material management has been an important part of industrial processes since the industrial revolution. No? Right now we have in industry 5.0, no? And is still used by modern companies across a range of industries to prevent any post in production. So with ties to other business areas such as purchasing and warehousing, material managers need to interact with the supply chain to make sure materials are delivered where they are needed at the right time. Okay, so I think that's it. Thank you very much, sports.